Oh, okay. Goddamn.
But also, so we got to get to the bottom of this Swap Moto Live thing. It's been so Donn Maeda, he's a friend of mine, and used to be a friend of yours. Take us through the origins of this dispute you two have.
Oh man, I don't even know where to start. So we were going into 2018. Okay, Yamaha came out with an all new bike, a new chassis, the YZ450. And, Donn called me up out of the blue and is like, Adrian, I think this bike needs some 20 millimeter offset clamps. Can you get some and put some on for me? And I was like, yeah, sure. Back then business wasn't that great. And, it was an opportunity to get some product on his bike for a product review, hopefully a good review. So I was like, hell yeah,
Yeah.
So then I asked him, I'm like, hey, can I ride the bike? I want to do some testing since they changed the chassis. He's like, yeah, no problem. But I could only have it for like a day or two, and then it had to go to like Yoshimura and all these other people wanted to get their hands on it or whatever. So kind of had a short window in there. But I took the bike to Milestone. I was able to do some testing, and I tried the 20 millimeter clamps that he wanted on there. I rode it stock with the 22s, and I even tried the 23.5. And for me, the 23.5s were really, I thought, best that worked on that bike.
Right.
But Donn wanted 20s. So I'm thinking to myself, how do I make this a good review for me so we can make some sales? I was like, well, if I'm going to have to put these 20s on it, which I feel a little too aggressive, I want to put this steering dampener on it to kind of help calm it down a little bit. And that's what I did. I went and put this mod on. I didn't tell him about it because, it was a media bike. I mean, you're familiar with how the industry works. Every year, the OEMs give everyone a bike. So he got his 18, and when he's done with that, they'll give him a 19, and so on and so forth. I didn't really think anything about it. It was a media bike. I'm doing a project for work, and I want to get a good review from Donn.
Right.
So I went ahead and, put the dampener kit on and everything, and I gave the bike back to him. Well, time went by. I texted him. I called him. What do you think? How is it? And I got no response. And then 3 or 4 months later, he puts a review up in his magazine. At the time, it was Trans World. And he just, really threw Ride Engineering under the bus. Oh, this is a liability, things like that. And I was just like, what the hell, man? I'm trying to give you the best product I can give you, and you're writing a horrible review about my products. And it just went from something work-related to something personal.
Right.
Because Ride Engineering is how I pay my mortgage.
Right.
If you have a problem with me, pull me over, go, hey, Adrian, why the hell did you do this? And I would have been like, for these reasons, because in 2014, Randy Hawkins made a prototype. And he tested it for a few months, and then he sent it to me and said, Adrian, what do you think of this? And I was like, oh, this is pretty cool.
Yep.
Let's make this out of billet. And then from 14 to 18, Randy ran it on all his pro race bikes, and he runs Yamaha's factory race or off-road race team, you know.
Yeah.
So they had it on over 30 motorcycles. So in my head, I'm not thinking I'm putting anything on his bike that's a liability.
Right. Yeah.
And
Hawkins has tested this and rode with it and everything. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, and all his pro riders, and they never had an issue in 4 years. So, I'm not thinking anything other than, let me put this on. If Donn needs to take it off, maybe he needs to put the bike back to stock for a shootout. You pull out a couple of screws, and nobody's the wiser. But for some reason, he just got in his head that I screwed up his motorcycle. And it's not his motorcycle. It's Yamaha's motorcycle.
Right.
So I guess that's where
it all started.
This animosity came from, and I had done 4 other Yamaha motorcycles, 2 for MXA, 1 for dirt bike test, and 1 for Vital, and they all loved it. So again, I didn't think anything of it. And certainly if it was his own personal bike that he went out and bought, I wouldn't just make this modification just for the hell of it. I wouldn't do that. I would ask first. But it was for work, so I didn't think anything of it. So that's basically, in a nutshell,
and then it's
kind of what happened. And ever since then, I'm just like, you came after me and made all this public, and that really is wrong, and I really don't want anything to do with you anymore.
Right. And have you tried to talk to him about it? I mean,
I felt really uncomfortable talking to him about it, but we kind of went back and forth with texts. A lot of them were explicit language that we can't repeat on the show. You know what I mean?
Right.
And he pretty much heard what I just told you. Yet, I don't know. It just doesn't matter. I didn't ask him, so he feels like he can abuse his power of the media to continue to bash Ride Engineering. I just think that's so wrong and unprofessional.
Right.
And that's really the only reason why I wanted to come on, just to be able to say that.
Yeah. Well,
let it go. It's been 3 years, man.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you. I agree. Charles, you're in the industry also, so you kind of see. I mean, Adrian, I don't know if you can. I didn't know the Hawkins point of view of running the mod, but again, I don't know if you can just drill a hole for a steering stabilizer into a production bike without telling somebody, right? I kind of see Donn's point in that. But then again, I also see the point where, like, yeah, Donn should have discussed this with you, should have brought this up with you. You know what I mean? All that kind of stuff. Like, I kind of see both sides of it.
Ask me why. Hey, why did you do this? Let me explain it to you privately.
Right. I'm with you on that.
You could explain the Hawkins thing. You could have explained that you did it for other media outlets. And
Right. Because it is. Yeah, I have a bike from Yamaha that I got to give back, and I assume they look it over, and they probably wouldn't be stoked to see I drilled into the frame. Even though nothing would happen because of that point, not like you're drilling in any sort of, weak points of the frame or anything.
Well, that's what you're saying. But again, I did this to 4 different Yamaha motorcycles before.
Yeah,
we're getting returned.
And you know what happens to these bikes?
Yeah.
They go back to, their warehouse, and then they sell them to people. And personally, I think if a guy bought the bike and had my triple clamps on it with a Showa steering dampener worth $1,100, I think the guy would be pumped.
Yeah. Yeah,
so, that's another way to look at it.
Right.
I mean, I'm not seeing the bad and negatives. I'm seeing maybe the positives. Maybe I'm a little blind in that manner, but
right.
That's kind of what happens with those bikes. And so I've never had complaints before. All those other editors said, hey, this is a great mod. So, I just didn't think.
Right. Yeah, I get it. I like you. I like Donn. It sucks that – because, I post the Ride Engineering stuff on my Instagram, and then for a while he was commenting on that, and I saw on his Instagram stories, he would talk bad about Ride Engineering stuff. So, I get it. We got Donn on the line here. He just called in right now. Welcome to the show, Donn. How are you, Swap?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for calling in. Can we squash this? Can we figure this out?
Bury the beef.
I've told Adrian many times in the past, I will drop this and squash it if he admits that he did wrong without asking my permission.
I mean, yeah.
But he left.
And I told you via text that if it was your own personal bike, I would have asked you first. And that's the best that I can do.
Okay. Well, so we're not going to get that.
The thing is when a manufacturer gives you a bike, you sign a loan agreement. You take responsibility for the bike, right? Now, if I had called Yamaha and said, hey, Ride drilled 3 holes in my frame and put a steering dampener in, does that matter to you? And if they said, no, that's fine, they do it on a lot of bikes, I would have said, okay, that was it. But the fact that they said, bring it back immediately, do not ride it again, we don't want you on that bike.
That's what Yamaha said. Yeah.
That's not what I heard.
Okay.
No, they took it back. Well,
they took it back because you complained about it. That's what I heard.
But maybe.
Nope.
I mean, I could see Yamaha.
Oh, wait,
who didn't.
Can we back up for a sec?
Yes.
He left some great details out.
Go ahead.
You had 3 people on my bike. I told you. Well, first I just said, please send me the clamps. I didn't ask you to put them on. You
asked me to put them on. Don't lie. You went away somewhere.
I need to make sure they fit. I need to make sure.
You asked me to put them on, and I said, hey, are you okay if I ride this bike? And you said, yeah.
Okay.
I said, no. Okay.
That's baloney. I would never ride your bike if you didn't tell me I could ride it. So I don't know why you want to come on here and start lying about this stuff.
I've told you.
I would never do that. If you said don't ride the bike, dude, I would never ride your bike. Trust me.
You had 3
I'm an
guys
engineer. I'm pretty black and white.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, you're
so
right.
we
Damn right, you should know.
Well, we can't even get. You guys can't even agree on if we could ride the bike or not.
Well, I just want to say that the other things about this quote unquote transaction or whatever you want to call it. You put 3 guys on it.
I did not
told
put
you
3
I
guys
didn't
on
want
it.
it.
I let
Michael
my friend.
Lindsay said he
I
saw
hired
3
my
guys on
friend's kid, who's a pretty good test rider, come out and help me test the bike when you said it's okay to go out and ride the bike. I don't know why. Again, that's a problem. If I can ride it, why someone else can't, I don't know. I hired him kind of as an employee to ride engineering for the day, so I don't know what's wrong there either. But whatever.
Okay. All right.
Can I point out a couple other things? I'm climbing up when you're talking, Adrian.
The floor is yours, Donn. Okay.
I said, okay, you can bar it for fitment because I need to check if all this other stuff fits. Okay. I don't want any other products on it. We need to do shootout. We need to keep the hours low. We just want to see if this product will help for a sidebar in the original test. You had multiple guys riding it. You changed the suspension all around. When Rich Taylor and I took the bike to Paris to test your clamps, the suspension was all screwy. I called you and said, Adrian, did you change my suspension around? And you're all, well, yeah. And I said, what did you do to it? And you're all, I don't know. I don't remember. I made it better for you. Well, you made it better for you, right? But who borrows someone's bike, changes all the clickers, but doesn't remember where it was and put it back to where it was when you borrowed it, right? So there's that issue. You gave it back muddy, dude, okay? And then the whole steering damper thing. You drilled holes in the frame. You didn't ask me. You should have called me and said, hey, I have this product. I want to try it. Can I do it? I would have said no. I don't want holes drilled in my frame. You drill holes in it.
Yeah.
I come back, and I'm like, dude, my bike's dirty, and you change the suspension. You know, you said, oh, my friend I hired to test, he's way faster than you. I mean, what kind of answer is that?
All right, Adrian.
The guy who tested the bike is about the same size as Donn. He's a very good test rider. He works with some suspension shops, and I believe he probably had a good setting. And I was trying to test so many things that day, I lost track of whatever the original settings was, and I'll learn from that mistake in the future. As far as the bike being dirty, okay, this was the deal. You wanted me then to give it to Yoshimura. So I talked to the guys at Yoshimura. I was going to take the bike back, wash the bike. The next day, Yoshimura was supposed to come pick up the bike in Costa Mesa at Ride Engineering. They didn't want to come to Ride Engineering. They're like, I don't want to drive there. I was like, okay, well, listen, I've got to go to Upland and get some parts. Oh, I'll meet you in Upland. But the bike's going to be dirty. I'm going straight from the track. No problem. So, hey, man, it's not my fault. I would never return a bike that's not clean.
Right, that makes sense. Yeah.
Matthes.
No, I mean, that makes the story makes sense. I mean, he was going to wash it. Yoshimura said, don't wash it. Come on up, blah, blah, blah. So, I mean, I get that.
Well, all I got was complaints from Yoshimura that they got a dirty bike.
Well, listen, as I said.
Can we get someone from Yosh on the phone?
Yeah.
Let's just.
Yeah.
Get Big E on the phone. If you want to drag him into this, let's get him on the phone. He's the one that met me there. If he's complaining too, probably he's complaining because he's your buddy.
But
so he wants to freaking pat you on the shoulder. Let's get him on the phone and see if my story's true or not.
But Donn, I've told you privately also, like, I get the beef with Adrian, and I also I didn't know the Randy Hawkins thing, but I'm also would say, hey, you probably shouldn't drill a hole in the frame and put a steering stabilizer in it, without talking to, like you said, Adrian, you'll learn from it without talking to Donn and all that. That was definitely I think a bad thing on Adrian's point of view. But Donn, we're 3 years later, and you're still blowing him out on social media. Like, I mean, right? Like,
hey, I get triggered.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I don't like Bevo Forte. Now he works at 100%. He used to work at Scott. He did some shitty things for me. I blew him out on my show for I don't know, a couple months.
8 years.
No, was it that long?
I don't know.
But for a couple of months, and then I moved on. I mean, I don't know, Donn. I feel like you have been stirring this thing. So
kind of fun.
But
well, it's not fun for me. Number one, I don't have the same social media outlets and websites to kind of retaliate. I've just tried to let this thing go, man, and it's like it's just never ending.
I mean,
Adrian, admit that you should not have done that, and you should have called and asked me, and I will drop it forever.
Dude, I'm not gonna
do
anything
we were
to
so
you.
close.
You went behind my back.
We were there.
You're freaking trying to hurt my business, and by hurting my business, you're hurting me. And I would never do that to you. All right? What happened to your freaking magazine a couple months later with your bad karma? It disappeared.
Oh boy!
I would never do that to you or anybody. I'm not like that.
But
I would keep it private, and I would say, "Hey, you fucking, I don't like what you did." But
he should have kept
keep
it
private. Between us. It's a small industry.
Yeah,
Nobody needs to know our personal business, but you have to let everyone know our personal business.
Right. And I'm with you on that.
How old are you? Aren't you in your 50s?
And
What's wrong with you, man?
And I side with Adrian on that. On that part.
I tried to, Adrian, I drove down to ride that one day to talk to you, and you closed shop and left before I got there.
Not on purpose, but I probably was too upset to talk to you.
Right. Right.
No, I said, I'm coming there. We're going to talk. And you said, I'm not a people person.
I'm not. I didn't really want to do this. I didn't really want to put all my shit out there for everybody to hear.
Yeah, I mean, not everybody's like us, Donn. Like you and I, just blowing everybody out publicly, you know?
You know, you guys might have more of a sales personality or more outgoing. That's not me. You know, I'm gonna say my piece, and I'm going to back it up with numbers. You know, another thing that you said in your review is that you asked all these, you know, factory mechanics about this whole thing. And they said the proper way is to weld a bung onto the frame. You don't weld onto aluminum. You make it much weaker that way. The only way you can get away with welding onto aluminum is if you heat treat it in an oven. How are you going to put that whole frame in an oven and heat treat it? So you gave people bad advice in your review on top of that, just to try to, you know, hurt me.
Okay, but
and that's not cool either.
I think we all made mistakes 3 years ago.
So I called all of the manufacturer representatives that I deal with on the mechanical side, and every one of them advised not to do that. Your reply to me about that. Of course they're going to advise
not to do that. If I worked at Yamaha, I would tell you not to do that.
You remember your reply to me was, those clowns are minimum wage, $20 at best, hack mechanics. They're not an engineer like me.
So let me say it nicely without insulting anyone. The guys who wrench on dirt bikes do not have college degrees, and most of them are ex-riders. Are you happy with that?
Can we?
I used to be a rider.
Yeah, so did I. But like, I think we both, all of us.
We were close.
We were close. And Donn, yeah, I mean, Adrian.
Hey, Steve.
Yeah.
I'm going to drop it on your behalf. I'll never do it again.
Really?
I'll never pick on Adrian again. I'll never pick on Adrian again, and I'll never park next to him at the track to make him uncomfortable again.
I appreciate that.
Well, that's a start. That's something, yeah.
That's what we do
Adrian,
here.
Can I have Don Wilson call you about some ads?
Donn, stop it. Stop it.
You can call me all you want.
Be there tomorrow morning.
You guys are both good guys. I've known you both I've known Donn longer than Adrian, but you know, I mean, you guys are both great guys, and you know, why can't we, you know? Well, hold on, we got
Baker sucks, Heather.
Kris Keefer.
Here we go.
Kris Keefer. Keefer, can you help me with these two guys that are both friends of ours and friends of yours?
Yeah, so let me preface all of this. Like, I've known about this for a while.
We all have.
Like 3 years, wow.
Right.
Okay.
And so I'm kind of I'm with Steve a little bit. Like, I see both sides of it. I know that I'm with Donn. I probably would have liked a heads up on the frame drilling situation. But I'm also, I guess I'm just a little different. I probably would have talked to Adrian personally. And I know Donn, and I know Donn, we jab each other, and it's a fun thing. But I guess when Adrian feels like it's an attack on his business, then maybe that's where the line is drawn. I don't know. I just work differently. I just rather talk to people personally. But For sure, I see both sides of this, but I think we should just be like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's just all like, I'm wrong, you're wrong. It's all fucked up. Let's just start fresh.
Maybe not. Maybe not on the calling for ads. Maeda.
Yeah, I think we were there, and then we were trying to get some ads tomorrow.
Yeah, we were there, and then Donn went for the ads. So,
yeah, I don't know. I mean, are we going to sing "Kumbaya" together?
I mean, yeah, I totally.
I will say this: Matthes, Keefer, Adrian pays both of you guys. I don't pay either of you guys. I'm just your buddy, right?
True.
So that's why you have to be careful with what you say. I'll just leave it at that. I'll drop it. Adrian, I'm sorry for harassing you all these years. You're a great guy.
Okay.
There we go.
Adrian?
Okay, goddamn.
Yeah.
All right.
Goddamn.
I mean, we got somewhere on it, right? We got somewhere on it.
I feel good.
I mean, I feel fine.
Yeah, I feel great.
I feel good.
And I don't pay anybody anything in here.
No.
So.
Yeah. Kiefer, I mean, I feel like you stepped in here right at the right moment.
Yeah, I think
Nice
for
work,
me,
Keefer.
like, and Adrian could attest. Adrian doesn't pay me enough to come here and stick up for him. I'm just being like,
Adrian, is that true?
Oh, I don't know.
well, here's the thing. Like, when Adrian and I do some stuff together, I will say, hey, man, that's fucked up. I don't like that. Let's try something different. Like, I am very vocal with Adrian. Like, I'm very upfront with him. If he's being an asshole sometimes, I'm like, dude, you're being kind of a dick. Like, let's just do this way. Like, I'm just very.
But don't I usually always do what you say?
I'm sorry.
I always do what you say.
Does Adrian do what you say, Kiefer?
I always do what he says.
What you suggest?
Absolutely. If I point him in a direction, he will voice his opinion, and I will say I think he's wrong, and then eventually I will get my way. Yeah.
Yeah, but I should say a lot of times we agree.
Right. I mean,
yeah, but I'm just saying I get it. Like I would have been bummed out if I had some holes drilled in my frame and I didn't know about it.
I agree.
Granted, if it's my bike or not, to me as a human being, I really don't give a fuck. I want to know up front, right?
I agree. Charles, where do you stand on this? Charles,
everybody's in the wrong here, and Donn, I feel like took a big leap forward here and apologized.
Big moment. Yes.
I feel like we need some reciprocation.
All right, so I feel like I need to say some stuff too. One thing, I don't really have the relationship I have with Donn, like with you guys, where we can talk openly. Like he called me out of the blue one day. Before that, I probably didn't talk to the guy in 6 months. And said, hey, I want you to do this modification on my bike. I didn't have a lot of time. I was just thinking, what can I do to get a good review out of him? I'm thinking I'm giving him something better.
Totally.
And he took it 180 the other direction.
Yeah, that didn't work out.
Yeah,
and that's kind of just my mindset on this whole thing. And that's why I'm having a hard time apologizing for it. I wasn't trying to hurt him in any way.
Right.
But you can apologize for not telling him about or calling him first.
Yes, I didn't call him first.
Right.
I mean, I don't know.
But
Is that
you have to say, I'm sorry, I didn't call you first.
Okay.
I just, whatever. It's hard for me to do that after all this that's gone down since,
Yeah.
It's very difficult.
But that's how
I literally wanted to freaking sue him. That's how pissed I was.
Kiefer, go ahead.
I just feel like, some shit happens in life when you, like, man, this guy's a fucking asshole. And then 2-3 years go by, and you're just kind of like, all right, I'm over it. Like, it's fucking past the past. Everyone knows about it. You spoke your piece. He spoke your piece. We're fucking 50 years old. Like, it's all good. Let's just move forward.
Exactly. I never wanted to talk about
that's on both sides, too. I mean, that's on your side, too, Adrian.
What?
Like, I just feel like, Donn says he's sorry, you say sorry, and then we're good. Like, and then if you guys don't want to talk to each other, that's cool.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with all of that. That's perfect.
Fine. I'm sorry I didn't ask him first.
There we go. There we go. We got something, and that's that. I mean, yeah, that shit happens, right? It goes sideways, and I listen. I mean, Keefer and I, we have to apologize all the time to each other, so it happens.
Yeah.
Donn,
here's one thing real quick. I just want to say about both these guys. Like, I know Donn a long time. I feel like even though you may not know Donn, you could go up to him and say anything you want, and he would listen to you. And Adrian is the same way. Like, I know Adrian, and I talk to him, and I'm just straight up, and he listens to me, and and I just feel like both guys are similar in that direction. I just think someone needed to do that earlier than later,
And Kris facilitated it. Here
Keefer,
we are.
Keefer steps in. It's amazing. Yeah, I agree with all of that, and I'm glad you guys could at least somewhat find some middle ground here. Donn, the online harassment will stop.
Cyberbullying. I couldn't believe that there was a drill emoji on Instagram.
I mean, I'm pretty surprised too.
I was so delighted about that.
Donn, also, so I blew you out on my show last week about Michael Antonovich, who was supposed to come in and co-host the show, and then he told me he couldn't come, and then you said it's fine. He didn't get his work done, which is important for your website to get Anton's to get the work done. He's the guy at the races right now, but he's fine to come on the show, correct?
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. He's 100% fine to come on the show.
As long as he's posted Monday Kickstart.
I misconstrued.
Your show's 23 hours long.
It is, yes. It's about 17.
We sell it as Monday Kickstart, and
right.
Sometimes it's Tuesday Kickstart, and there's even been the occasional delightful Wednesday Kickstarts, right? So,
right.
I mean, dude, Anton is the best guy. I wouldn't be doing this with anyone else than Anton.
Right.
He's we always joke that I'm yellow dad and he's white son, right? But dude, sometimes I wonder what he's doing. Right. Not as fucking off. It's just
right.
I just like when we were together in Houston most recently. We both sat at the kitchen table at our Airbnb and typed our computers for 12 hours on Sunday.
So I guess there's a thread on Vital about this, and people are upset, but Anton can come on the show. It just has to have his stuff done.
Yeah, he can come on the show. And as you said when you're born, I know. I'm perfectly well aware that it's good for us, right?
Yeah. I feel like it's great. It's me directing more traffic to Swap Moto Live. Absolutely. Yeah. So I've got no problem with it. And the funny thing about it is he didn't say anything to me about that show that he didn't go on. And the last time he was on the show, I didn't get mad at him for it. I was all pumped because guess what? Monday Kickstart got posted at 4 o'clock that day. Right. You got it done. Right.
I was whoa, hell yeah, that's cool.
Right.
And then I went on Instagram and I saw he was on the show and I was like, oh, that's why he wanted to be on the show. But I was totally fine with it, right?
Right.
I'm like, oh, cool. Well, if he's motivated and wants to do it so much,
the only thing I didn't understand was why wouldn't Anton just be like, hey man, I can't come on. I got buried in work. I'm buried in work. I'm not going to get mad at him for that. I don't know why Anton wouldn't say those words.
Let you down, I guess.
Right.
But the only thing about that last time was that Indy.
Indy.
Between 2 and 3 years. I don't know.
Right.
But the next day at Tuesday at the race, I said, hey, can you go take this one picture for me? He goes, I can't. I've got to get race preview up. And all I wrote back was a little winky face and said, if you weren't on pulp for 6 hours, I bet it would have been up.
Oh, okay. So, all right. So, yeah.
Steve, it would be like if your employee Marks didn't get your app done in a certain amount of time.
Listen, neither of these guys give a fuck what I think or say. They just do what they want to do. That's the bottom line.
We were getting along so well.
That's it. That they just do what they want to do, and I hope things happen.
You blew it.
Okay.
Speaking of ride engineering, though, we do have Jeremy on the line. Jeremy, welcome to the show. You use ride engineering stuff?
Absolutely, man. How you guys doing tonight?
Good. How are you? Thanks for calling in.
Very, very good. Very good. I was just listening to this last little segment you guys got going on, and hey, I just wanted to chime in. We still on with Adrian?
Yeah, Adrian's on there. Yep,
I'm here.
Hey, Adrian. Hey, Jeremy from Florida. I've talked to you a few times in the last month or so, man. I've got your lowering link and your 21.5 offset clamps on my bike, and I just want to tell you thank you for all your help, dude. The bike turns fantastic. It's great. I love the products. I just want to throw it out there, man. You make some really top quality stuff, man. And
appreciate that.
I have a Kawasaki. I don't ride a Yamaha, but yeah, I just want to get on and say I appreciate everything you've done for me because I've talked to you a few times, and I appreciate everything. Probably
Cool.
great.
Awesome. Thanks for calling in, Jeremy.
Yep.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Yep,
Thanks.
y'all have a good one.
All right, thank you. Yeah, I mean, look, Zombie Blows, running and ride engineering.
This has to be a record on the amount of phone lines used at one time.
Yeah, maybe, right. Keefer, can you, if these two guys are at Paris and you're there, can you verify that everything's okay?
Dude, I've been there when they're both there, and it's super awkward for me.
You're just like,
and here's the thing, like, I'll be there just across the water lane, and Adrian and Donn are like 3 cars over, and I'm like, oh, fuck, what's going to happen? And I'll go talk to Adrian, and then I'll walk, and I'll kind of look over to the left, and I'll go talk to Donn. I'm just like, all right, I'm just here in Switzerland over here. How's everybody doing?
yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure it is. So, Keefer, you're going to be our SoCal eyes on this.
Correspondent.
Correspondent on this. Because
oh, I can't wait till they're at the track together. I'm just going to go live. I'm like, hey, everybody. Deep heart in the Inland Empire. We have them both here at the track.
Right. So, I mean, yeah, I'm glad. It sucks. You guys are both cool. And Adrian, I don't know you nearly as well as Donn, but I know you enough that running into your Glen Helen and different tracks. And thanks for the support of the show over the years. That, yeah, you care about your product. You make good stuff. And, hey, mistakes happen. And Donn, you're just Donn.
Yeah. It's hard to take it personally when it's your own company.
Of course. Well, and Donn at that Swap Moto Live is all Donn, right? And Anton.
Well, this was before he was there, though.
Yeah, true. But and
I will say this about Adrian. Like, he's not like, I think he said this, and I could be wrong. But I think he says I'm not a people person. Is that correct?
He did say that.
That was in response to Donn going to talk to him. I think.
Yeah. So and Adrian he's pretty quiet. Like, if you talk to him. And he's from New York, right? So he kind of sounds like, like, this guy really want to talk to me. But, like, once you talk to him, he'll help you out a lot. Like, he's a good dude, so.
All right. Well, Adrian, you feel better about it? A little bit?
I guess I vented a little bit, so I guess that's a good thing.
Right. Donn, you feel better? Will you delete Will you delete the drill emoji from your Instagram?
No, dude. It was great. It was animated. It was going in and out.
Okay. All right. There we go. I shouldn't have got it going. But Anton is allowed on the show. He just has to get everything done. And so so call off the Vital MX thread about Anton piece of shit and Donn's piece of shit and all that. Call off that.
Yeah. And free, what's it? Hashtag free Anton. I've seen that before.
Oh, it's trending.
Free Anton. That's great. I love it. And Adrian, you like Anton?
Oh
boy.
I don't know him very well.
Oh, okay.
I think I used to send him some press releases back in the day. That's about all I can remember.
Okay. All right. Well, he's a good guy. He rides 125, so he's a 125 guy.
No, he's a big 250 rider now.
Oh, he is. Oh, I didn't know that. He stepped up.
YZ 250 two-stroke.
Oh, that's right. He bought one and then it blew up, or it had a defect or something.
No, there's some defect, but he got a warranty.
That's it. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. Well, Keefer.
There's an Anton jersey hanging in that Illinois dealership. You know that.
Yeah. Keefer, thank you for calling in.
Yeah, I just wanted to weigh in. I like Donn a lot. I like Adrian, and yeah, I don't like to be at the track and have drama. I like just being happy.
Well, you were at You were in Arizona in an amateur race, so you had drama, Keefer. Something happened. Not maybe with you.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah, I want to be happy when I leave my house. I don't want drama. Okay?
Right.
Hey, as long as you're there, I got to pin you down. When am I going to do that Cali test?
No, there we go.
All right, got to go, guys.
Phone's breaking up.
We had a caller call in and ask who was faster, me or Donn. I want the record to state that it's definitely Donn. So I just would like people to know that.
I would say the same
smoked
thing.
me on a mountain bike, though.
Wow, I got a motor, though.
No, dude, when we rode e-bikes in Salt Lake and we were both on Eco, you were like, that witch and the Bugs Bunny cartoons that just goes, and it's just like a hair.
Right.
And a bobby pin.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. All right, well.
I'm not as efficient with electricity as you are.
Right, exactly. So, Pulp Fan.
Is Kris still on? Is Keefer still on line?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still here.
So I briefly scanned Aiden's caption. You guys went to Loretta qualifier?
Oh, okay, good. Yes, I like this. So
No, and so What classes are you doing?
Me or
You.
I'm doing 25 and 45.
Oh, okay. And he's doing 450 intermediate.
Oh, he's
He's doing
250. He's 250.
250B, 250B limited, and schoolboy too.
Oh, for some reason I thought I was reading it while I was driving, but I thought it said you were riding 450 intermediate or something. I was like, what?
Keefer can't defend his number 1 plate though. They changed the rules, so he can't be whatever you were, Keefer.
It's sportsman now, right? 40.
I don't.
40's turned sportsman now, so now I turned 45 before Loretta, so I can race 45.
Nice.
Oh, so that sportsman, it's like you can't have been a national pro or something?
No points.
Point.
Keefer's one fucking
1 point
Supercross
away.
main.
Not plural. There's no plural there. It's just point.
1 point away.
Keefer's one main event and 1 point comes back to bite him.
Damn the bad luck.
Reason why I was like saying because this is what I remember about Donn. So I still have this in my head. I remember a little while ago, and I would just throw up captions on my social media. And Donn texted me one day and said, "Hey man, your captions are all fucked up. Like there's spelling errors and back in the day, I'm like, who cares? It's just text or a caption." He's like, "Dude, you have to type text like you're typing an article." And I still remember that advice to this day. So now, ever since then, I'm always really self-aware about what I'm putting and trying to make the right punctuation, and that's what I remember from Donn. So when he started this caption about social media, I was like, oh fuck, he saw something else.
Well, dude, you're an editor at Dirt Rider. I was just trying to help you.
Right.
Yeah, no, and it worked. It was I remember that to this day.
Keefer, before we let you go, what's the best ride engineering product do you think? Most improvement on a bike that Adrian has made?
Steering stabilizer, Yamaha.
Don't. Yeah, let's just move on from that. What?
Oh my God.
What has been the best product?
Lately, honestly, here's the deal with Adrian. I like that. I know that they were going back and forth about Adrian riding, but I like that Adrian actually rides his stuff, feels it, and then I'll ride something and we will kind of go back and forth on it. I'll say no or yes, or he feels like it works good there. And so I like that he actually is still involved in riding with his products. And for me lately, I just think that the split clamp technology of what's been going on lately has really helped rigidity of these bikes and what he's put out. And I know he's been through a lot of revisions on this clamp, so the KTM split clamp's really good, and I really like it. And actually, I have a few guys email me recently that bought it, and they really like it as well. So.
All right.
Hey, Grant Baylor just won the first GNCC on those.
There you go.
Grant Baylor won?
Yeah, with
on his
FMF goggles.
gas. Yep.
Really?
Yeah.
That's the guy that got fired from Sherco?
No,
that's his brother.
Oh, the brother got fired. Grant stayed, right? Stuck it out. Yeah.
Pulp off road, everybody.
Yeah, Pulp off road. All right, Keefer. Thanks, buddy. Thank you, man.
All right, hey, I'm so happy for everybody. Let's just celebrate.
This could be a weekly segment.
It's gonna be a weekly segment where Keefer comes in. Yeah. So
Great.
All right, Donn. Swap Moto Live. Thank you for coming in, and I'm glad we've hashed this out.
They just texted me.
What do you say?
I'm proud.
Oh, see, A-Ray's even happy. Your other son is happy. So
Yeah.
I bought him dinner on Friday night. Didn't help his ass though. He didn't make the main event, but
Yeah.
yeah. All right. Thanks, Donn.
Yeah, 50.
All right.
Later, Don.
See ya. Well, Adrian,
Yep.
at least we've stopped everything, right?
I hope so. I hope so.
I think we have. Yeah, I think we have. Everybody's really come a long way here. But
Everybody
love everybody.
I mean, I'm like I said, I've told you this privately. I think you should have told him, and I think Donn should stop it. I think it was stupid that Donn did that stuff for a while. So yeah, that's my opinion about it.
Yeah. I don't know. I just want to get it behind me, man.
Right.
Yeah. Too much stuff going on at work to just keep having this stuff keep coming up here and there. And
I agree. And you're probably thinking about it a lot, right? When you're designing stuff or riding or whatever. Yeah, it sucks, man. So
yeah, it's just it's not worth it. It's like, let's just move on.
Right.
Well,
I hope we have. I think we have. PulpFan20 at ride-engineering.com. Zombie Blows. Moto Concepts.